In today's video, I'm going to go over an interview that PC Gamer had with Sven Vinca, the creative director and CEO of Larian Studios. And the interview was conducted today on, what's today? March 23rd. So it's a very recent interview. Now, there's nothing too groundbreaking here, but there are some really cool tidbits of information that some of you guys on my channel, of course, would love to see. So let's jump on it. Oh, first, before I get into it, I just want you guys to know my neck and my back have seized up, and I feel like I have a neck brace on right now. So if I look weird, that's why, but I still got to bring you guys news at all costs. All right, so heading on over to Larian's Twitter page, where I get all of my Baldur's Gate news. Larian Studios tweeted, attending official GDC, which is the Game Developers Conference. Don't miss Lar at Larian's talk, and Lar at Larian is Sven Vinca's Twitter handle, on the many challenges of making Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I did look into attending this event myself, of course, virtually, but the GDC website is not only not very user-friendly, the prices are also not very consumer-friendly for little old WolfheartFPS, and I'm pretty sure to attend virtually, you still have to get a pass. I could be wrong. I was just really confused, and I got frustrated, and I closed out of the website. But luckily for us, PC Gamer held an interview with Sven Vinca on the same day, and they made it public. Now, if you want to read this article, like I said, the link is in the video description to read the entire article on your own, and the article is written by Wes Fenlon of PC Gamer. So the title is Larian's Baldur's Gate 3 team is 10 times bigger than when it made Divinity Original Sin. Now, DOS 1 was made with a team of around 35 to 40, I believe, at least when they started. Divinity Original Sin 2, they scaled up to 150. And the last time we heard, Baldur's Gate 3 was a team of around 300 or 300 plus. But now we have an update on the size of the studio. So scrolling down here, we have some quotes from Sven himself. I never expected us to be 400 people to make Baldur's Gate 3. 400. So the last we heard from Larian, they said they were more around 300. They might have even said 300 plus. It's now confirmed that they're around 400 people making Baldur's Gate 3. And to put that in some form of perspective, Skyrim had around 100 Bethesda employees working on the game. And then if I had to bring up a CRPG, a more recent one, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous was made, I don't know if this is exactly right, but it's somewhere in this ballpark between maybe 45 and 75 developers at Owlcat Studio. So 400 is just a crazy number, but it's really exciting because Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be a massive game. Nobody expected it, but it's literally what we needed to do it. We had a choice. There was a moment where we started understanding what we needed to do to make this game. We thought we understood, then we actually really understood. And so we had two choices. We could scale it down, so that's basically just take away some of the story or shorten up all the side quests, get rid of some of the classes, or we could scale ourselves up, and we chose to scale ourselves up. How refreshing is it to hear that from a game development studio? So many companies, especially these days, would absolutely scale their game down, especially this late into the development process. And many times this is due to outside pressure from investors and publishers, which Larian doesn't have, or some game companies themselves just happen to be greedy. Sven and Larian want to create the game that they want to create, and it seems like they're willing to go to extreme lengths to make sure that they do what they set out to do. All right, below this, Wes asked Sven where he thinks Baldur's Gate 3 fits within the broader D&D landscape in all its forms, and the answer came easily. The benchmark of incarnation of 5th edition in a video game, he said. That's what we're trying to do. I think it's already very good, and it's still getting better. So obviously there's some differences between 5th edition and Baldur's Gate 3 in the rules and mechanics. You have some spells and even some of the combat aspects. But in its totality, there's nothing else that comes closer to 5th edition out there. Now, shout out to Solasta. I absolutely love Solasta, and they're coming out with a DLC in the middle of April. Very excited to play it. Solasta is a closer adaptation of the rules and mechanics, but in a general sense, Solasta is a different world. It's not D&D monsters, races, and even the subclasses are different. Baldur's Gate 3 is the closest as a package to 5th edition out of any game in existence, for sure. And probably it's going to be the only game, because I bet you we'll get 6th edition for future video games from other companies. Scrolling down, we of course have some more quotes from Sven. There's so many steps in between now, so many people that need to look at it. Cinematic designers, cinematic animators, the casting director, lighting, VFX, SFX. So you don't just get to add a line like that anymore. So when he says you don't just get to add a line like that anymore, Sven is referring to Divinity Original Sin 2, where the writers could tinker with text until essentially the last minute. but this does not work with Baldur's Gate 3 because every dialogue scene is meticulously animated. So whether or not you like Baldur's Gate 3, there's no denying the insane amount of work that is going into this game, especially when it comes to dialogue and every animation that follows with it. So if you talk to any NPC in Baldur's Gate 3, it doesn't matter if it's a rat or just a little tiefling kid, there is a full-blown cinematic, fully voice-acted scene that accompanies it, which obviously requires a ton of work. Down here we can see Sven speaking at the GDC, and then below this, Wes says that he asked Sven if the growth is risky, thinking back to Larian dancing on the edge of bankruptcy to make Original Sin. Of course it is, he said, but based on Larian's track record with the Original Sin games, I also believed him when he said, we've never been about the money. So how many times, first of all, do you hear a CEO of a big gaming company say that? And even if they did, you probably wouldn't believe them. But with Larian Studios, you just get a different feeling. And as someone who went over there and met the team and met Sven and played Baldur's Gate 3 in his office, I could truly see the passion behind the employees that I met, and especially Sven. They work really hard to get those panel from hells done. They work long hours. Like, they really, really, truly care about their game. At least that's the image that they gave off to me, and I don't think it would be easy to fake that. Sven says, I guess a lot of people say that, but it's really about what we need to make this game. I would literally have a revolution inside of my company if I forced them to lower their aspirations, the things they want to do. They're really proud of Baldur's Gate 3. They really want to reach the ambition that they have because they all played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 in their youth. This is a very important project for them. I'm happy we're doing it this way because I think it deserves it. And we have the means of doing it because of the success of the previous games. I would not have wanted it to be a game that had to be scaled down. Very refreshing and, of course, nice to hear. Below this, Wes found out for us, so shout out to Wes from PC Gamer, that Larian's currently working on Baldur's Gate itself, building out the city and also filling out D&D's spell library and implementing its remaining classes. I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm most excited to visit the city of Baldur's Gate in 2022. It just gets me so pumped up when we get to walk through that basilisk gate, or perhaps some of us will take a different route. Maybe some of you guys will sneak the tieflings in through the sewers. It's so exciting to return to some of the classic locations, and just to see the city of Baldur's Gate in the 2020s is going to be incredible. And of course, if Act 1 is an indication of Act 2 and 3, we can expect incredible levels of detail and just a lot to do in the city. Obviously, there's a lot of missing spells and cantrips, so it's nice to read that they're filling out D&D's spell library. And the remaining classes that we have yet to see are Paladin, Monk, and Bard, and several of the subclasses. Below this, Wes touches upon it not being fully finished until 2023, and most of that is because of the time-consuming polish that comes with the crazy amount of content that's in this game, and we all obviously want the game to be launch ready. This paragraph, Sven talks about player agency and how important it is to him and this game, and that he thinks that you're not going to be happy with it if you're limited with your player agency. And this is mostly true for the CRPG genre, which is kind of a niche genre to be in. And the problem with this is obviously that there's a ton of work that goes with true player agency, but Larian says that they figured it out and they're doing it. So they're on that final stretch. They know what they're doing. I think they've worked out a lot of the kinks and they can just go at it now, which is always reassuring. And the final paragraph that I'll read to you guys here is a nice closing statement from Sven. There were really lots of easy cuts that we could have done, but then it wouldn't have been the game that it needs to be. We're not going to release it if it's not ready. Remember those words, guys. Remember those words. It's going to be quite the thing, you know, when you go to the character creation and you can select all those classes, all those subclasses, and then you start that journey, knowing everything you can do on that journey. It's going to be quite the thing. So obviously Larian Studios cares a lot about this game. It's a massive project that I can't think of any other company that's taken on such a massive project, especially within the CRPG genre. I'm very excited. And that'll be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will consider doing some interviews myself in the future. It's just not really my specialty, so I have to prepare myself to push the boundaries of what I can do on this channel. And yeah, that's it. Catch you guys in the next one.